Good day. Let's break apart the second reading from Borg. Meeting Jesus Again, Part 2. So as you may have noticed, really the second part is an extended reflection on how to revise a map. Borg is moving from a hand-me-down religion to a wholly personal religion. His childhood image of Jesus no longer worked. It no longer matched who he came to know was the historical Jesus. So, a couple pieces of context. Let's channel our inner Mr. Page. Why different gospels? Why are there shifts? Well, as I believe Mr. Page would have said, one is that the gospels were written for different contexts, different communities. So Mark's community was very different than Matthew's, and Matthew's was very different than Luke, and Luke's was different than John. We have maybe a 30-year span of difference, different needs, different issues. That's one reason. And then, of course, reason number two is that from 70 to 100, those 30 years, the beliefs about Jesus developed. They grew, they deepened. And so that's why you notice a difference between, for example, Mark's gospel and the Gospel of John. So what is a gospel? Hopefully this is just a review again. A gospel is the church's memories. It's a shared memory of the historical Jesus transformed by the community's experience and reflection in the decades of Easter. So it's their memories of the historical Jesus that's then transformed, deepened, evolved. So the Jesus of history. So Borg calls this the pre-Easter Jesus. First century Galilean Jew, executed by the Romans, emphasize eschaton. Eschaton were end times. And this is the Jesus we meet mostly in the synoptic gospels. Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And Borg makes the argument that there's not a whole lot more else that we can say definitively about the Jesus of history. Then we have the Christ of faith. This is who we meet in the Eucharist, in the living word, in shared community. And this is the post-Easter Jesus, the second person of the Trinity. This is who the Gospel of John focuses on, the I am statements. What Borg comes to realize, much like what Peck talked about in A Holy Personal Religion, is that, of course, he had to abandon his childhood images of Jesus, and he had to question them, and he had to have some doubts. And then what happened is he had experiences of mystery, of grace, of transcendence, and he came to know God in a personal way. God became the center of his existence. It was how God became how he lived and moved and had his being. And so he realized that Christian life fundamentally was about developing a relationship with Christ, developing a relationship with Christ.